Good morning and welcome to our recorded Christmas Day service. This year, Christmas falls on a Sunday, and by the time you watch this service, your worship team will have developed and led several in-person services just this week. So we thought we would give your ministers and your wonderful staff and all our amazing volunteers a day off to rest and celebrate the holiday with their loved ones. I hope that you are all safe and warm and watching this in your PJs or maybe wrapped in your favorite holiday sweater. Here are some words of thanks from your staff recorded at our recent holiday party. Please sit back and enjoy this festive holiday service offered with love from us to you. Merry Christmas.
Dashing through the snow in a one-horse open sleigh, o'er the fields we go, laughing all the way. Ha ha ha! Bells on bobtails ring, making spirits bright. What fun it is to laugh and sing a sleighing song tonight. Oh, jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Hey! Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh.
Thank you for giving us the day off, everybody.
Thank you. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Las montañas sueñan como fiel constelación. Gloria in excelsis Deo. Shepherds, why this jubilee? Why these songs of happy cheer? What great brightness did you see? What glad tidings did you hear? In excelsis Deo, Gloria in excelsis Deo. Veni pronto Belén para contemplar a Jesús, autor del bien, a recién nacido Rey. Gloria in excelsis Deo. In excelsis Deo.
Hi friends!
Today's Time for All Ages began with a joke that Paula Johnson posted on Facebook that connected the nativity story with Star Wars. The more I thought about it, though, the more it kind of made sense. The story of Jesus' birth, like the Star Wars saga, is a story of a long-awaited baby born in unlikely circumstances in an unsuspecting place and hidden away until such time as he can begin a life dedicated to the overthrow of the established order. It is a story of a deity who, as his mother says in a song before his birth, casts down the mighty from their thrones and lifts up the meek and the lowly, who fills the hungry with good things and sends the rich away empty. It's the story of a family ordered by imperial decree to leave their home, and having done so, unable to find adequate shelter. And the story of that same family having to flee yet again, this time in fear for their lives, to seek asylum in the home of their ancestral slaveholders. So, in many ways, today's story is literally a time for all ages. It's a story that has been told for millennia and yet still plays out today in the lives of so many across the world. So it was that Joseph went up from the town of Nazareth in Galilee to Bethlehem, the city of David in Judea, to be registered along with Mary, his wife, who was expecting a child. The city was crowded, and there was no room for them at the inn. And so it was, when the time came for her to deliver, she brought forth her first son and laid him in a manger. And there were in that same country shepherds abiding in the field, keeping watch over their flock by night. And lo, the angel of the Lord came upon them, and the glory of the Lord shone round about them, and they were sore afraid. The angel said unto them, Fear not, for behold, I bring you good tidings of great joy, which shall be to all people. For unto you is born this day in the city of David a Saviour, which is Christ the Lord. And it shall be a sign unto you. You shall find the babe wrapped in swaddling clothes, lying in a manger. And suddenly there was with the angel a multitude of the heavenly hosts, praising God and saying, Glory to God in the highest, and on earth peace to people of good will. And it came to pass, as the angels were gone away from them unto heaven, the shepherds said to one another, Let us go now even unto Bethlehem, and see this thing which has come to pass, which the Lord has made known to us. And they came with haste, and found Mary and Joseph and the babe lying in a manger. Now in the east there were wise men who saw a star in the sky, signaling the birth of a new king, and traveled to Judea to see him. Having reached Judea, they first visited Herod, the imperially appointed king of that region, asking where they might find the child. Herod told them to search diligently for the child, and, having found him, come back to tell him where he was, so that he too might pay him homage. But they were all of them deceived. For Herod intended not to worship the new king, but to kill him. Following the star, the wise men then entered the house where it stopped. Entering the house, they saw the young child with Mary, his mother, and fell down and worshipped him. And when they had opened their treasures, they presented him with gifts of gold, frankincense, and myrrh. That night they were visited in a dream by an angel, and being warned of Herod's deception, they returned to their home country by another route. Joseph, too, was visited by an angel, warning him of the danger. When he arose, he took the young child and his mother and fled with them to Egypt. And now, please join me in our affirmation. We'll say it first in English and then in Spanish. We are Unitarian Universalists, a people of open minds, loving hearts, and welcoming hands. Somos unitarios universalistas, personas de mentes abiertas, corazones amorosos, y manos que dan la bienvenida. Merry Christmas, and may the Force be with you.
The Camels Speak by Lynn Ungar. Of course, they never consulted us. They were wise men, kings, star readers, and we merely transportation. They simply loaded us with gifts and turned us toward the star. I ask you, what would a king know of choosing presents for a child? Had they ever seen a baby born to such simple folks, so naked of pretension, so open to the wind? What would such a child care for perfumes and gold? Far better to have asked one born in the desert, tested by wind and sand. We saw what he would need. The gift of perseverance, of continuing on the hard way, of making do with what there is, living on what you have inside. The gift of holding up under a burden, of lifting another with grace, of kneeling to accept the weight of what you must bear. Our footsteps could have rocked him with the rhythm of the road, shown him comfort in a harsh land, the dignity of continually moving forward. But the wise men were not wise enough to ask. They simply left their trinkets and admired the rustic view. Before you knew it, we were turned again toward home, carrying men only half willing to be amazed. But never mind. We saw the baby, felt him reach for the bright tassels of our gear. We desert amblers have our ways of seeing what you chatterers must miss. That child at heart knows something about following a star. Our gifts are given, have no doubt. His life will bear the print of who we are.
We three kings of Orient are, bearing gifts we traverse afar, field and fountain, moor and mountain, following yonder star. O star of wonder, star of night, star with royal beauty bright, where westward leading, still proceeding, guide us to thy perfect light. Frankincense to offer have I, incense owns the deity nigh. Prayer and praising all are raising, worship him God most high. O star of wonder, star of night, star with royal beauty bright, westward leading, still proceeding, guide us to thy perfect light. Born a babe on Bethlehem's plain, gold I bring to crown him again. Love forever ceasing, never in our hearts to reign. O star of wonder, star of night, star with royal beauty bright, westward leading, still proceeding, guide us to thy perfect light.
At Christmas time, the generosity offering in our worship services goes to replenish the minister's discretionary fund. This money is available for the ministers to help people. And we find that this year that fund is in very good shape. So our offering this Christmas season will go to Housing for the Homeless, an agency that I have come to know and admire since they contacted us a few months ago to tell us about a man who had died on our streets not too far from the church after being discharged from the hospital with no aftercare plan. This is not an unusual experience, but Colin was an unusual man. He had lived on the streets for some 20 years, and in that time had become well known and loved by all who cared for him, the emergency room staff, the paramedics, people in various social service agencies who tried to help him. He loved to sing and to tell stories, and he was, by all accounts, just a delightful person who had fallen on hard times and had multiple health issues. He was also a veteran, and he was unhoused. A year or so ago, his adult daughter had found him, and the two had made peace before his death. And when she learned that we were going to have a memorial service for him here at First UU, she and her children flew here to meet the people that had cared for her father, their grandfather, for all those years. And we had the honor of hosting that gathering. And all of this was made possible by this agency, Housing for the Homeless. And so I ask that we make our generosity offering to them in this Christmas season, when the central story we tell is of refugees struggling to find shelter and safety. The mission of Housing for the Homeless is to serve San Diego's most vulnerable, unsheltered community members, helping them move from crisis and vulnerability to safety, stability, and self-sufficiency. So let us do our part and open our hearts and our generosity and share from our abundance with Housing for the Homeless. You can click on the link below to make your donation now. Thank you.
I didn't know who. I would sit there in the casino and I'd in the noise and try and say, what would it take to get you out of here? And I didn't know. I didn't know the answer. It wasn't a job. It wasn't. What would it take? What's going to be that little nudge over the edge? And it was being allowed to grace, honor, and dignity of who I was again. I've never had that problem. I've never come in with my head down, and it's just a simple respect that these women bring. So.
Esta oración es para todos los viajeros, para los que comienzan en la belleza y caen de la gracia, quienes caminan tímidamente buscando la manera de volver, y para los que nacen en los márgenes, viajando de un lugar liminal a otro, cruzando fronteras en busca del centro. Es una oración para aquellos cuyo nacimiento es el paso de oscuridad a oscuridad, aquellos que se sienten atraídos por la luz y avanzan hacia ella, y para aquellos cuyas jornadas son un camino sinuoso que comienza y termina en el mismo lugar, aunque solo al terminar sabrán por fin dónde están. Para todos los viajeros, jóvenes y viejos, dolientes y alegres, cansados y llenos de vida, los presentes y los ausentes, los que son como tú y todos son como tú, y los que son distintos, porque de alguna manera todos viajamos solos. Esta es una oración por la misericordia, para que andes con pie firme y visión clara, y por el pan para tu cuerpo y tu espíritu, por el agua para que llegues seguro, y para todos aquellos que encuentres en el camino. This is a prayer for all the travelers, for the ones who start out in beauty, who fall from grace, who step gingerly looking for the way back, and for those who are born into the margins, who travel from one liminal space to another, crossing boundaries in search of center. This is a prayer for the ones whose births are passing from darkness to darkness, who all their lives are drawn toward the light and keep moving, and for those whose journeys are a winding road that begins and ends in the same place, though only when the journey is completed do they finally know where they are. For all the travelers, young and old, aching and joyful, weary and full of life, the ones who are here and the ones who are not here, the ones who are like you and they're all like you, and the ones who are different, for in some ways we each travel alone. This is a prayer for traveling mercies and sure-footedness, for clear vision, for bread, for your body and spirit, for water, for your safe arrival, and for everyone you see along the way.
La huella
Love came to us some 2,000 years ago, not as a great king, though the story tells us that wise men welcomed him as a king, traveling from afar to bring gifts of the finest perfume and gold. What would a baby need with such luxuries? No, love came to us as a baby, son of refugees born into poverty, fleeing in the night to evade capture. What are we meant to learn from a story such as this? That love comes to us as a gift in unexpected ways. And you need only look around you to see how much we have been given this beautiful home, Mother Earth. Plentiful food, shelter, music, beauty, and each other. Security, safety. Love came to us as a baby to remind us that there are those among us who are tiny, lost, vulnerable, and in loving them, we ourselves become love, lover, and beloved in a circle that need never end, as long as we accept the invitation to enter into it and do our part to keep love moving and growing and circling all. We are all a part of this great circle of creative love. Water, tree, earth, sky, baby, refugee, innkeeper, and guest. All of us, one.
Joy to the world, the sun returns. Now earth prepares for spring. Let every heart with firelight bloom, and heaven and nature sing. And heaven and nature sing. Joy to the earth now gladness brings, and birds their songs employ. While fields and floods, rocks, hills, and plains repeat the sound, rejoice. Repeat the sounding joy. No more the cold and darkness grow. The frost still coats the ground. We wait to hear the rivers flow. As far as hope is far, as far as hope is found. We yield the earth with truth and grace, and ask ourselves to prove the glories of righteousness and wonders of our love, and wonders of our love.
Our closing words are from Howard Thurman. When the song of the angels is stilled, when the star in the sky is gone, when the kings and the princes are home, when the shepherds are back with their flock, the work of Christmas begins. To find the lost, to heal the broken, to feed the hungry, to release the prisoner, to rebuild the nations, to bring peace among siblings, to make music in the heart. May it be so. Peace and love to you.
turkey is done, reviews are mixed. When's Mom gonna get that hearing aid fixed? Hold still, wait for the click. We're in this year's Christmas Picks. Brother, we don't agree about the government and where to put the tree. Hold still, wait for the click. We're in this year's Christmas Picks. Flashbulbs and wine, and hold that smile. Everyone's here, flown for miles. Looks like we've stood the test and we're looking our best. Tears rolling down my nephew's face. Santa's house can be a scary place. Hold still, wait for it. Hold still, wait for the click. We're in this year's Christmas, this year's Christmas, this year's Christmas Picks.